This is my video feedback on my model. I did a lot more, as you can see mainly with the head here. So looking at the head, it is very flat here, so I'll have to round that out so that if we look at the top view, so that it's all round like this, and even at the back here as well, round it out. It literally just looks like it just looks like a book. It just looks like a book that's been placed in between two book holds, just squished either end. So that would work a lot more better, and it would be really good to do that. It'll shake out a lot more nicer, and it'll look a lot more human as well. Another thing is this here. One time there was the chin was very kind of angular, so it's pulled it out, and it looks a lot better. It's a lot more of a curve and a lot more of a chin as well here, unlike the other time when I did the face, the second attempt at the face. The other thing is facial hair here, which I was quite nervous to put in, or nervous in a way that kind of like, how am I going to do this? How is this going to work? And I did look at references, and I did look and take from it with the Wolverine one, by having all these little hairs in there, which I think if I would copy and paste all this, it would work. The only problem is that the only problem is that I think that it would probably be a lot more easier and probably look a lot nicer if I kind of just used it for UV mapping and texturing, so that the texture, when I've got the map, I will be able to colour in and draw using a texture from online and using the stamp tool to kind of colour in the facial hair. I'll have a lot more freedom to kind of bring it up around here if I wanted to, and I think probably bring that in a little bit more. I think also now just thinking about where the facial hair is going to go and curve around here, it's not going to work with the face, so I'm thinking just to bring it out a bit more here and make a bit more curve, and so I can bring the sideburns out here a bit more would be best, I think, as well. The eyes I thought worked quite well. It's not brilliant, but I felt that they're a lot more better. Last time I kind of didn't have this kind of indentation here at the top, which I now have here, and a lot more better kind of coming around here with the creases, and nice cheekbone coming out here. And I think kind of like from all the practice, the trials and errors, and doing it repeatedly, it has definitely paid off and has worked out really well. And the creases here with the nose, it's great, and also with the lips here, just kind of creasing it around here, it's worked a lot better. And also this bit of a dip, like I said, if I pulled this out with this kind of indent here, it'll put more of an indent in it and make more of a portrayal of lips. Another thing that I added in is the neck part, the cravat, or the cravat neck part, as I've been calling it. That really adds to it, because I think without it, it would just, you got to have the rest of the actual clothing, because it's not going to look normal, it's not going to look right. I think some people would probably even question, if you're seeing this, kind of like, well, where's the rest of the tie, or the cravat, where's the rest of it? So I think to put that in there was a really good idea, and also adding in the collar as well for the shirt really makes it a lot more appealing and works well for a character and how he's dressed. I think another good thing would be to kind of link all these together and just combine them. Would be a good one. Would be a good thing to do, so that, because obviously these are kind of all linked anyway with what they are, so the collar and the neck part, the cravat, and the cravat itself would work together as all one object, which I think would be good. Medal haven't changed, that's fine. I added in buttons by, as you can tell by looking at these. They just copied and pasted that and brought it down to create buttons. So that came out great. That one's kind of sinking a little bit, so just easy job of just maybe just rotating it and then just pulling it out. Like so, yeah, problem solved. Pocket, same, haven't really changed it. The waistcoat and the trousers and the boots, all the same. I haven't changed anything from that. I was happy with that. Cleaned it up a bit. The back, you can see it's nice and straight there, nice straight there. I think probably would have been good to kind of just maybe pull it out a bit here in the trousers, but just probably just grab a couple of these, grab them, just pull it out a bit. Just pull it out would probably be a lot more better. And shake it out a little bit more, even this side as well. Just grab it a bit on that side and just pull it out. Just shake it out. Make it look more like trousers instead of the plastic kind of toilet tube in a way. Another thing with this is I've used the thickness with the extrusion tool, as I said before, and what it has done is actually place extra faces inside. So if I select these and then delete, you can see they've kind of added a lot more faces in there that I don't need. So I'll have to go around and delete these as well. Same again. I think with the shirt I've done the same thing. Yep. So yeah, delete the inside parts as well. The shirt would be a good idea as well. I did take the arm off, so now the arm isn't linked with the body anymore, and I've actually deleted the arm from the inside because I don't need it anymore, and you're not going to see it because the sleeve's in the way. And then I added this little tube which was made from a cylinder and extruded it and put some thickness on it to make it roll. I think that probably could be changed. It looks a little bit basic. It works, but I think it would be better to kind of intercale with the sleeve. I think that would work well and a lot more better. The ear, jump to a completely different topic here. The ear, it worked. I like the shape of this player, but the thing is, as you can tell here, kind of just look here, it kind of all been kind of folded inwards. So all this behind here, it's kind of all been kind of folded inwards here, and all of this bit here, if you look at the actual geometry, you can see it's all been pushed in. And that was because when I modelled the ear and attached it, it came out roughly around about here. When I attached it, you had the ear here, and you had this big, long, kind of stick of thick geometry that I didn't want. And because I already attached it, and I didn't really know how to, separate it, I had to kind of squish it in, which is really bad. And if I had time, I would redo the ear, and then that would be fine. Another thing is this, and that would be as easy as just using the pen poly and like that. Just hit the pen poly tool and just obviously with the time demonstration, there, that's made, and then obviously just fill that in with using the pen poly tool, and that would work a lot nicer, and that would fill in the hole right there. Another thing is edge loops are missing. Edge loops ahead, they're missing, and you can use connect tool and just pretty much grab that, and there we go, added one in. So just doing that can add all that together and create missing parts and problems where there should be edge loops, and also doing the opposite of that and getting rid of things like these edge loops here that are not really necessary, because these three extra bits are needed, not this one at the end, but the three here I can just delete, or just delete some of them and just space out the edge loops to make it look a lot nicer and a lot more cleaner. The teeth and tongue, I'm happy with them, happy how they came out. The eyeball is sticking out here. Yep, so easy, just tweak that, leave it in, yeah, drop it in. Overall really happy with it, and I think it's now probably time to kind of mirror it, see what it looks like, because I've been working with the half for the whole of it. I mirrored sometimes to see, and for the majority of it I've just worked on half of it, and it would be good to kind of mirror it to see if it works. The other thing I noticed, the beard was going to have to be moved in. There we go. So stuff like, and I think that's really it. Really, I think just clean up the head, make it a lot more rounder. If I bring the hair back, oops, wrong one. I think really just, I think I've just moved the head by accident. I've just moved the head by accident. I think just mainly is just the kind of edge loops and kind of this here, where it's all of them here and then kind of nicely spaced out here. So probably taking some of them and spacing it out evenly, I think would probably be the step with that one. And it looks completely different in preview mode and smooth preview. But overall happy with it, and the cravat, happy with that. And I've done the bottom part, and I just copied that and pasted that, and I did take, because originally these were a lot more close together, which I didn't want, so I had to kind of grab the vertexes from here and just push them up and just make it back to how it was again, just make it quite blocky, and then copied it and then did that. And then put in some new creases for the bottom part of the cravat, because I knew that compared to the knot here, it will look completely different when it kind of just flows out from there. So I had to do different creases for that. The hand still needs to sort out, and also just kind of to help myself really, is kind of bringing up these gizmos to be closer to the actual hand, so I can, you know, move it a lot easier. I'm going to kind of, you know, be framed in like this and then having to zoom out and find it. So I like saving time really with that, and just adding in edge loops and pulling it out, not making it look blocky. Because the thing about, if I added, as I've shown before, edge loops at this point here, there I can just kind of start pulling it up. Yeah. And also, as I said before, with the side, you know, add some edge loops, demonstration purposes. Obviously I'll be a lot more careful when actually doing this. And yeah, that's what's in those. And just pulling them out and just make it a lot more curved. Obviously probably put more edge loops in as well, with it to kind of make it more rounded out, even down here and down here as well. No problem to say with that is probably the worry of having too many edge loops. That's the worry I probably would have. The thumb is a lot more better. It's not a slide anymore. I might have mentioned this before, but it's a lot more nicer and more human-like. And so I've just made that, moved it. I think probably thinning it out a bit, adding some edge loops here probably. Just go on the edge blade and just thinning it out. That way. Thin it out a bit. Not too much, or else we'll get the slide problem again, which I would not like to happen again. So just stuff like that, really thinning it out. And maybe even just doing this with some of the fingers as well. Just grabbing the edge loops and just thin them out, or fatten them up. Not that much, but just play around with it and keep looking at the reference and kind of what I quite like, really. And how to kind of just build this character, really did. And I mean, even just hands and stuff, little things that just make him really, you know, kind of for example the medal that is saying is just adding in some kind of engraving, like a VR for Victoria Regina, for Queen Victoria's name, or the crown, just some royalty, because the history of this character is that he's kind of like a spy or a soldier, just a personal soldier spy for Queen Victoria herself. But overall with this model, I'm really happy with it, and I think to add this change, actually the one thing I just said with the beard, that I can kind of do it all with UV mapping and with texturing and just bringing in a beard and colouring in a beard on Photoshop using the beard texture with the stamp tool. I was thinking to actually probably just maybe draw the creases in, draw them in exactly, maybe even grab this, you know, take a screenshot of this and then draw over where I've drawn it on the actual model. Same with this, same with the bottom, just draw it on in Photoshop and then add a bump map over the top to get that, to get the kind of thought that there's some indents in there instead of actually indents being put into the actual model, as obviously you can see there. And that's everything, I think, really, everything with it. I think actually with the nose, just notes in here, probably just to get rid of those faces, especially if I, those faces, sorry, especially if I'm merging it, because they're going to get in the way. And I'll have to delete them while I'm merging the faces anyway. But everything, really happy with it. I just need to make the changes really up here, and just maybe with the arm, maybe just bring that in a bit more. And yeah, I think really, cause just looking at that, wow, that's very diamond shape, and arms aren't diamond shapes. So I think probably adding a bit more edge loops, probably some in between edge loops to kind of space it out, and then I can obviously a lot more cleaner and me just throwing them on there like that, and then just even some maybe around here and just pulling it out and just circling it a bit more and making it not look like a diamond, and just make it look more like a circle than a diamond. I mean, just doing that has changed it quite a bit, to be honest, to what it was. So, and then obviously with the roll, make that bigger if I do enlarge the arm at the end here, just scale up the roll so it kind of fits the actual sleeve. But overall, really happy with what I've got, and hopefully after the changes I can UV map, and hopefully that'll go well and everything would be great. And but overall, really happy with it, and that's everything.